Hello YouTube and welcome back to Psychology Every Day. Today I have such a banger for you for Sports Psychology Sunday, and it is truly the best idea and model that I've ever learned from sort of sports that is applicable to life as well. It is applicable to life, to sports, to work, through to social sort of environments and war and combat, which when something is such a general truth, you know it's really, really good. As you saw in the thumbnail, we have results, we have effort, and then we have the thing that every elite person knows to focus on, and that is the preconditions. I'm going to use a personal example. First of all, when I competed in bench press, I learned about how sprinters sleeps like 12 hours a day. And I decided that, well, based on how I trained, which was to perform super optimally once every week, I would make sure that the preconditions for performing optimally that day would be as good as possible. So what I did was I built my training program around this day, this maximum quality, maximum effort day, and then I made sure that my life also was optimized to be able to deliver this high quality effort by sleeping as much as I felt was needed, which was oftentimes 13 hours every night, by eating in a way that would allow me to perform optimally, which was usually not eat at all in a sort of 4 hour window before training, or even at all that day before at least the sort of high quality workout, not have a physically demanding job, um, not do too much gaming, especially not before the workout, because there are so many factors and ways of understanding this and explaining it, and we're gonna go through all of it. I do hope that you stay through the entire video. It is so good for the algorithm if you do. It just, but I'm sure you get the point already, perhaps. But I'm gonna explain it in a work setting and in a life setting that is honestly, I think this is the most important sort of lesson that I can give you so far on this channel. So stay tuned. Preparations is something that everyone understands helps boost your performance, your effort, which will of course improve your results. Now we can talk about this in any context, but let's say we talk about it in the context of war. So let's say you set up a base somewhere. Reinforcing this base and doing practice runs of what happens if you get attacked will of course make the defense of that base so much more effective. If you can set out traps, if you get super comfortable and knowledgeable about the environment where everything is, if you do practice runs, like I said, but also visualizing sort of how it will be like. And one of the most important things here to understand is that we tend to avoid fear, and that means in this context, not only war, but all of them, that we avoid oftentimes visualizing because it is, high stress and something that we risk failing at. But if you can overcome this fear in your mind before the event already happens, you will not be fearful at all. Actually, the downside is of this visualization and just going over it over and over and over in your head is that when the thing actually happens, if it is a positive thing, you will not care at all because you've already celebrated 1,000 times. And this was true for my national gold in bench press. When I won it, I was like, whatever, I've already won it 1,000,000 times in my head. When it comes to work, obviously the preparations, if you have the proper education, if you have the right people, if you have the right system, then the work effort is not sort of difficult or straining at all. And this is a problem that a lot of companies have, is that the preconditions is not there. They have the wrong people, they don't have sort of areas of responsibility properly mapped out, they don't have the right training for the people, and it's just a mess. If everything is set up correctly, then everything will just click. In life, in general, whatever frame and preconditions that you set up for success at that thing will be 100% the reason for its success or its failure. If you want to go to school and become a lawyer, if you do tons of drugs, you never sleep, and you spend all of your time hanging out with friends that are very bad for you, then you're gonna fail. If you spend your time with people that will enable you and improve your preconditions, if you have habits and sort of live your life as optimally as possible, then studying and all of that is just a small part of it. And a very important thing to understand is that you have to make space for the endeavor that you want to do. Because the more space you have, the more mobility you have in adapting and changing your environment and your life to be suitable to that purpose. That is why some people talk about sacrifice, because they sacrifice, let's say, going out and drinking 3 times a week. They sacrifice doing that. Someone that is, set on becoming the greatest chess player in the world might sacrifice romantic relationships because they just want to be in their head all of the time or playing chess all of the time. Priming is something that is very, very, very important and very underestimated. This is something that every powerlifter knows by heart, well, every good one, and that is not very common at all actually in a lot of other different sports. A good powerlifter will not stop doing warm-up sets on the bar in bench press until it feels okay, at least. And once they get higher and higher, they will stop if it doesn't feel great. And not necessarily stop the workout, but they will stop at that certain weight and make sure it is properly primed, that they are properly primed. Because let's just imagine for a second that you are a fighter. Even if you're not, just imagine it. If you are sort of out and about on the beach eating ice cream and someone suddenly attacks you, you're probably going to be like, oh, not good, not great preconditions. But then imagine that you are the same fighter and you are at your sort of fighting gym. You have just warmed up for 30 minutes and you have visualized and primed yourself to the highest possible extent, and then someone attacks you. Now, when we're talking about sort of other people and what they, you can't control everything, but certainly you have vastly improved your preconditions of putting in the correct effort and getting the result that you want. Other people as your friends is also another very underestimated sort of precondition. You are the people that you spend your time with, someone said, but just imagine that wherever you go, you make friends, and not because, you're being some sort of sneaky guy that wants something from them, but just imagine if you had 5,000 great friends. And then realize just how easy everything would be. Not because you would want services from them, but because of the knowledge that you bring each other and the just chance that you want to, with some of these friends, take on an endeavor together and cooperate and fill out each other's weaknesses, or combine your collective strength into this endeavor. Just imagine if you have a friend that's a trader that is just amazingly good at sort of stocks, economy, and stuff like that. And you want to get into starting a business. And then you talk to him, and he's interested in it, and he wants to help you out. And not, that he's going to give you money or anything, but just the things that he would want to tell you, just like I'm teaching you right now, it would be like a university course, but better, probably. If you can find people that are passionate about the same things that you are, the discussions and the learnings between you and from that other person is so much better than any course, any sort of university lecture by a huge margin. So take with you from this, ask yourself, what are the preconditions of what I want to do, and then spend 100% of your time and focus on that. Because if you do, the effort will be automatic, and you will have given yourself the proper training and learning to be able to not even be distracted or worried about anything else, which means that you can be absolutely fully present in the moment, which will make your effort from silver to gold. Thank you so much for watching, and this is part 2 of the 5,000 celebration, and tomorrow is part 3. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and if you want to like and comment or subscribe, I love you. Love you, love you, love you.